What's going on, my leets and geeks? Today, we've got 3 sci-fi tabletop RPGs that you need to play, that you need to experience. Now, of course, this is based on your boy's subjective opinion. So don't get in the comments to be like, oh, you should have included this, that, and the third. Let's not even go there, okay? This is my subjective opinion in terms of 3 sci-fi tabletop RPGs that are the bomb diggity and that you need to experience in some way, shape, or form. Even if you only can choose one of these, then choose one and go on about your business. And you'll thank me later. Now, again, let me say it one more time. This is subjective. This is my opinion on this. It's sad that I have to even say that. You get crazy people in the comments saying stupid stuff, just calm down. It's implied that it's an opinion if it's a review or something like that. Come on, son, what's going on? All right, anyway, we're gonna do that, and I'll have links for all of these games down in the description. I will be counting them down. Again, from my subjective opinion, with number 3 being the least and number 1 being the one that I believe that you should absolutely play at some point. Play that game. So, let's get down to brass tacks and roll that transition. Coming in at number 3 is Alien. Now, the Alien RPG is based on the movies put out by Ridley Scott and a couple other people later on down the line, but let's not talk about that, especially that Finch thing. Let's not talk about that. Let's continue on here. Now, let's take a look here at the Alien RPG core book. This is the core book, and this here are the star systems and stuff. So this is really well laid out. This came out in 2019, and Tomas Hairstem, hopefully I said that right. He was the main designer on this. Let me see. Let's go in here and just look. How do you say that man's name? Tomas Hairstem? Yeah, maybe I said it right. Okay. And I've already done a couple videos on this, and so there's a lot that's involved in this core book. They really do a bang-up job putting this together. This is really good. This is a really good tabletop RPG when it comes to kind of this sci-fi horror type of feel, which is different. This is different from most tabletop RPGs when it comes to sci-fi. It's kind of space exploration and all the rest of this, but this right here, now what we're talking about here is surviving. That's what we're talking about in Alien. Now, that's because it comes in 2 different modes. The cinematic mode, and the cinematic mode is where you can do kind of like a one-shot, and it's really about survival. It's about tension, it's about fear, it's about panic. Because you got xenomorphs or face huggers or both going all over the place, right? So that's what it's about when you're doing a one-shot kind of cinematic mode, fast-paced. However, they do have another mode. It's campaign mode, and that is different. That is where you are going to use this for the long haul. And if you are going to use it for the long haul, they got you set up with their Building Better Worlds. I'll put this over here. Now, Building Better Worlds is their campaign book. I mean, and it's got everything, man. I mean, it's got the history, it's got ships, how do you build ships, because you can build your ships, I'm pretty sure, building your colonies, building systems, like star systems and all the rest of that stuff. That's all involved here. Like, all of that is involved in this. Building Better Worlds is what I really highly suggest that you get if you are going to be doing campaign mode. This is the one right here. Now, they've got a couple other campaign settings too, like Colonial Marines. They also have Heart of Darkness, which is a smaller campaign setting. So they do have more. They did such a good job on this. If I'm not mistaken, it won an Emmy, but I'm not real sure. And who cares, because a good game is a good game, regardless of if it gets an award or not. So this is a solid sci-fi tabletop RPG. Now, the system on this is their infamous, I should say, Year Zero engine, which basically means you get a pool of 6-sided dice. And then what you have to do after that is you have your attributes and you have your skills that are tied to that. That gives you a pool of 6-sided dice. You roll that and the 6 is a hit. And however many that you roll, in some situations it may help, in some situations it doesn't help at all. It just means that you've succeeded. But the whole point of the Year Zero engine is rolling a pool of 6-sided dice and getting a 6. That's the basics of it. And with Alien, you have added to that what's called stress dice, which it'll make it better for you in order to do whatever you have to do, but it ramps up the fear and the panic, or you just making a mistake and a costly one. Alien is a great game, y'all. It's a fantastic game. I highly recommend getting this, because it's good and it's different. Because again, it kind of mixes genre, but it's mostly sci-fi. It just brings that horror element to it, fear and tension. And yeah, you can't beat that with a stick. This is a really, really good game. And so go and get this if you're into that kind of thing. Play it just once. And as I always say, you'll thank me later. Coming in at number 2 is a classic from 1998. It was released in 1998 by TSR, and then they got absorbed by you-know-who. And yeah, I don't mention them on my channel either. Like, nothing to do with those cats. But the name of the game, folks, is ALTERNITY. So when it first came out, you had your 2 base books here. So you had your player's book and you had your game master's guide. Here's the thing. If you can see, when you put them together, it's just one image. And I thought that was kind of cool. I don't know about you, but I thought it was kind of cool. Now, this was made by Bill Slavicsek and Richard Baker. These are 2 vets. And of course, there's more people that were involved, but those were the kind of like the 2 that were in the front creating this. The player's book here has a kind of green motif going on. And it has it has color pictures here. And also, so I'm just going through this really quick, and you can look at the Game Master's Guide here. Now this has a kind of blue motif going on, so everything's blue instead of green. So you can know just by looking which one you just picked up, whether you picked up the Game Master's Guide or whether you picked up the Player's Guide. So here's the art and everything that's in the inside of this. Now, it came out also with a major expansion, and that expansion was called Star Drive. And Star Drive had a whole bunch of extra material that came out for it, like a lot of it. And this is giving you a whole bunch of background information. I mean, this is really good. They did such a good job on this game. Like, they did a really good job on this game. Now, ALTERNITY is more of a hard sci-fi tabletop RPG. So you're talking about your realistic physics, you're talking about limited resources or the dangers of space travel. All of that is in there for ALTERNITY. So if you're looking for something like pulpy or something like that, or kind of cinematic action, it's more strategic. It's more tactical, especially when it comes to combat, and it's grittier. So you could make it into something a little bit more pulpy, but it's really for those who want kind of that gritty, down-to-earth sci-fi experience. I think the closest thing as far as television shows go would probably be The Expanse. That would probably be more around in there. Now, the core mechanic on this is based on a D20 system. But instead of adding a whole bunch of modifiers and things like that, what you do is you add a situation die. And that will give you anywhere from a D4 to a D20. And it could be in the positive and the negative. You have a target number and you have to roll low. So the lower that you roll, the better it is for you. So roll under that target number and you are good to go. So that is, like I said, ALTERNITY has a lot of stuff with it. It's kind of like this, it's not a hidden gem so much. I mean, people knew that it came out, but a lot of people today, especially the new cats, what do you know about this? You don't know nothing about this. This game is dope. You gotta try it. Go grab it. And the only place you're gonna be able to grab it is over at Noble Knights Game. That's the only place that I can find it. Got links for that down in the description. Check it out. Trust me on this, ALTERNITY is one of those games that you will not regret getting. Well, here we are at number 1. And it's one that you should be familiar with, and it's one that you should have been expecting. This baby dropped in 1977 by Game Designers Workshop. Yeah, y'all know what's up. It is Classic Traveler. Now, the version that you see in front of you right now is called the Starter Edition. The very first Classic Traveler, because this is Classic Traveler, but it's a truncated version of the first 3 books. Now, the first 3 books, books 1, 2, and 3, character creation, combat, spaceships. So you had that as the first 3 books, and they're, smaller ones. I wish I would have had my other one that I should have had, but hey, it is what it is. So this, in the Starters Edition here, as you can see, this is just the rule book, right? Done in basic black and white, 64 pages, y'all. We kept it simple, and that's it. And you also had the charts and tables book. So all of your charts and tables and everything that you needed, even that's it. That's all you got right there, baby, for your character sheet. Oh yeah, we had a lot of fun just with the simple stuff, y'all. Here are all the other stuff, interplanetary travel right here, ship expenses and financing and all the rest of that. Now, Traveler is known for being a hard sci-fi tabletop RPG, and it is true sandbox, and it was true sandbox when it first came out, right? So it gave you a framework for you to make whatever type of sci-fi tabletop RPG campaign you wanted, right? So if you were into Battlestar Galactica or Space 1999 or something else, you could make that within Traveler, because that's all it gave you with the first 3 books. All the rest of the stuff that came out for the game came out later. Now, the game was designed by Mark Miller, but Lauren K. Wiseman, y'all know what's up. I mean, you got to give that guy props, because he added all kinds of stuff for this game later on. So let's keep it 100 when it comes to that. The game is based on a mechanic that is very simple to a degree, and it's a 2d6 system. You get your target number, and if you roll under that target number, you're good to go. It's adding the modifiers that can bog you down. You can add quite a few modifiers to get to that target number, and that bogs things down, especially when it comes to combat. Now, if you already know certain things, combat can be fast, or if you're familiar with it, then combat can be fast. But if you're just starting off, it might be a little long in the tooth when it comes to adding all these modifiers, range and armor and the gun itself or the weapon itself, all of that stuff. It's just a long list of things. As a matter of fact, I can just show you one of the charts here. And this is the attacker's weapon, and then all against certain kinds of armor, and your range right here. All of that, you bring that into play, and any other modifiers like, whether or not they're on high ground, low ground, cover, concealment, all of those things. Again, the math is simple because it's just 2d6, so you're keeping it in the low round. But like I said, it can get you bogged down. But the game is truly fun, and it's the granddaddy, y'all. It really did a great job at giving you a sandbox toolkit type of thing. And yeah, it does keep it in the realistic physics and all the rest of that stuff, and doing math and all the rest of this just a little bit. It's not too hard, it's just a little bit. Now, all the rest of the stuff that came later, you know, the Third Imperium and all the lore and stuff, that wasn't a part of the original. The original was just a, again, sandbox toolkit and super fun. So if you are looking for something with a simple core mechanic system, because it really is simple, this is it. The granddaddy, classic traveler. Go and get this bad boy. If you can find it, because it's going to be expensive. But they do have one that they've put it all in one book. So they do have one of those. And like I said, there'll be links for all this stuff down in the description. So let me give you a quick story about my ALTERNITY collection. So I only had the Game Master's Guide, and I was reading through it. I was like, man, you know, I wish I had everything for this game that I needed. And I happened to be on Reddit. I think I was searching for something for ALTERNITY on Reddit. And there was a guy that was giving away his stuff, and all you needed to do was provide postage. I was the first one to respond, and I was like, oh, we all up in this, bruh. Send it to me. I will gladly pay for this. So he was going to send it like UPS or FedEx, and it was going to be like 40 something bucks or whatever. And I was like, oh, wait a minute, bruh. Nah, let's do it like this. Let's send it USPS, right? Media mail. And I'll just wait for it, pay for it, whatever you need. He was like, okay. $15 and some change. Oh, I ain't lying. Tell me that I didn't get off like a bandit. Oh, come on, son. I might as well stole that stuff. Know what I mean? Oh, I got tons of stuff for that game, and I will eventually cover that game. It might not be here on the channel. If I do, it'll be very brief, but it'll probably be with my memberships, more than likely. And we'll play it, and fun game, man. Fun game. Well, if you got any value out of this video today, y'all, you know what to do. You need to help a brother out just a little, and crush that like button. Also, if you want to stick around, your boy comes out with videos every Tuesday, today, every week, God willing. So if you want to stick around, do this. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. All right. So let's get to the question of the vid. So these are my 3 games. These are my 3 sci-fi games. I think that you should, pick one. And that's the question of the vid. Which one of these 3 would you pick to try out? You had to choose. And obviously, this is if you haven't played the game, right? So if you haven't played the game, which one of these 3 would you choose to go with? Alien, ALTERNITY, Classic Traveler. Why? And why? Just with the little information that I gave you in this video, let me know down in the comments below. We need to get some engagement going on this video, y'all. So that's how we do it. And how I do it is that I gotta do my snuggle puss.
So exit, stage left.
Hey, if you got a game going on this week, y'all, happy gaming. I pray it is an RPG Elite session. I love doing that. I love doing that. So in the meantime, between time, go ahead and watch this video. But until next week, y'all, God willing, it's me, your boy servant. I gots to go. Peace. 5,000 leets. That's right. I'm gone.